Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today we're going to be doing the second block of the month, Murder Mystery Quilt, Murder at the Luau. And thank you for answering how to pronounce the word. I'm going to guess that the way that you wrote the pronunciation was through phonics, and that wasn't in my school. I actually went my first 4 years of school in Japan. They didn't have Hooked on Phonics. That came afterwards, so I missed that whole boat. So thanks for my YouTuber that told me how to say that. Also for the YouTuber that told me that that flower is a lotus flower. Now, these are going to be leaves. The leaves will look like this. I have them cut out. But what I wanted to tell you, for those that are new and that are beginners, this is a really good pattern too, by the way. They went ahead and showed you, I'll show you a page here, how to applique. They gave you samples, all the different ways to do it, so that you can try them all out. And then what they've done for beginners and for people that feel like they're more comfortable with applique, because this is an appliqued block, they gave 2 sets of appliques. So when you're looking at your paper, if you don't understand it, and the sheets go over on each other. For example, 1 and 2 get put together like this to form a large leaf. Now that's a solid leaf. 3 is the smaller leaf, and it's a solid. That's for beginners that don't want to do a lot of cutting because they're not sure of themselves. More advanced and you've done a lot of applique, then you're going to want to do this one, which is the one that I did. So that's the smaller and the larger. And the larger, you will be connecting 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to show you because this leaf is really, really big. So it's that one and this one put together to create a large leaf. All right. So now let me discuss a little bit about the continuation of the story. I don't think that I told you what Kelly's job was. Let me give you a little bit of rundown on this chapter. All right, so I wrote down what Kitty is. She is an archaeobotanist. Botanist. So what she deals with is humans and plants through time, and so she normally digs up seeds, then finds out how they ended up where they're at. So she works mainly on dead plants, but those are ashes, seeds, leftover things like that, not actual human beings. So I just want to clear that up a little bit. Now, going forward in this chapter, the police show up. Of course, you know, on this small island, there's not a lot of murder, so it's new to them. So they're it's saying that they're a little queasy, green around the gills, which is understandable. She talks to the young men who lifted the pig out of the pit. There was 3 of those guys. 2 of them, one wasn't feeling well at all, so he was bringing up his nutrients by a bush. The other one looked like he wanted to do it, but he was patting his partner's back. The third one was standing off to the side and sort of nonchalantly, as if he dealt with this kind of stuff all the time. But she questioned these young guys, and they didn't really know too much. So they thought that she was the police investigating and wanted to know, you know, what had happened, but she explained she wasn't. And so she got done talking to them, walked over to the other guy who was leaning there, the nonchalantly one, and asked him if he knew anything or whatever. And he said that, and this is towards the tail end of the chapter, he said, well, anybody could see that that person that was in that pit didn't fall in that pit, didn't jump in that pit. They were literally placed in that pit. And so that's the end of chapter 2. So we're still wondering who did it. All right, so let's go over here to the board. I'm going to show you the 3 pieces that make this block. And then I'm going to go ahead and iron them together. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch them for you, so you can see the way that I'm going to stitch them. You did have a choice now. You could have gone ahead and cut out your leaves, pinned them, glued them, used fusible. I went ahead and used fusible. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could have used that thread that disappears with water, but I don't want to put it down like that because I want it to be adhered to the fabric. So when I get ready to use that for another project, I'm going to show you guys how that works. Okay, so let's get started. This is the background. It is 12.5 by 12.5. This is my large leaf. Try to get the light off there. And then here's my small leaf. Now, I'm going to tell you what I've done. So if you're going to be doing this and you haven't done it yet, it's just going to give you a heads up. This one first, and then this one. Now, the way that I've done this is I took my fabric, I turned it to the wrong side, have double fusible on here, on this one here, and you can tell the way that it's curling now. This is why I'm going to mention it to you. So I took it on the wrong side and I spray starched it. Now this is regular spray starch. This is not best press. This is spray starch. Then I ironed it down and then I laid this on it. I don't believe that this is a good way to do it. Based on my experience, I won't do it this way again because these ends are rolling up. All right. Now when it came to this one, I put the fabric on the right side. I used best press. Then I flipped it upside down. This one doesn't stick up. So this is the way I'll be doing it from now on. All right, we're at the ironing board. It's a little bit dark because I'm working on trying to get a light. I haven't found one that I really like that I'm going to put over here on the right of the ironing board. I turned my ironing board around. So this is my small end over here. Let's see. Here's the small end right here. That's just a little pin catcher in case I need it. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is I've already ironed this. I turned it on the wrong side. I put my starch on it and just re-ironing it. I had to take a break and go downstairs a minute. All right. Now it says, and this is what I do, I always set it on there first before I actually lay it out. It says to put the big one first, and all you're doing is looking to make sure you got a 1/4 inch on both sides here. Then it wants you to take this one and lay it over, and then you're going to be the same way, looking at your 1/4 inch. And if you wanted to, I guess you could do this, but I kind of want to get the big one laid down first. So all you do is you get it started to peel off your double-sided here. Well, it's a single side now because it's already on one. Let's see if I can get it started. All right, here we go. Alrighty. Chair right there. So I want to I think that's about a 1/4 inch on each edge there. Now I use this just in case because I don't want, I can smooth this down and it'll stay down, but I want to make sure it doesn't accidentally come up on me. Now this fusible that I'm using, it's called Steam-A-Seam 2. And yes, you can use steam. That's why it's called Steam-A-Seam 2. You don't have to. And I can take my iron back and forth. Now some of these, if you're not using this brand and you're using another one, it may tell you lay your iron on top and move it. Not go back and forth with it, and it might also say use a dry iron. So please read your directions before you do it. You don't want to mess this up. Cutting out this fabric right here was very time consuming because that's a lot of little crevices that you have to get into. This is the most time consuming was actually cutting it all out. Because what I did this time was I cut all of this. I took it, I adhered it. I just took a little piece a little bit bigger than this, adhered this, and then cut it all out. And then got it ready to put on here. So that's about a 1/4 inch from each edge. And then I cover it. Now, if all you do when you get ready to embroider it is you want to use a single stitch, which you can, and all you would be doing, let me change the camera angle, hold on one second. Okay, so if you want to just single stitch right here, you would come about 1/8 of an inch, and you would just follow it along here. Make sure that your stitch is at least at the largest 2.5. You can come down to 2 if you want. And then what happens when this gets washed is right on the edge, it'll lift up and it'll be real soft. Another thing you can do is you can go ahead and do a satin stitch. And what you would do there is you would start wherever you wanted to. I'd start on a straight line, slowly zigzag it all the way around the entire thing. Then come back, decrease your zigzag so it's very little, practically on top of itself, and then go back and forth like this. Okay? And you can do more than one type of applique on this if you wanted to. It's just up to you. So what I've decided to do on this is I want this to be soft. So all I'm going to do, and I have it opened so that I can see it. I'm going right on the edge here. And hopefully I can keep it on the edge. Let me see if I can show it to you here. I'm going to try to go at this at a couple of different angles so that you can get to see it, because I feel like the camera needs to be right here, but I don't have a tripod or any way to sit it on my table here so that I could show you exactly how I'm coming straight on. Now I'm not backing it up, and I have variegated thread that I'm using. So this is very slow, and I have to constantly move it because it's curves. All right, here's from another direction. I cannot get it any lighter. I tried to adjust it on the camera, but it keeps decreasing the light on it. So I'm using my left foot, and I am far reaching because I've got this thing right in front of me. But I wanted you to get an idea of how I'm doing it, trying to keep consistent with it. Like I said, trying, but now I'm trying to use my left foot too, and I'm not a left foot sewer. Just take your time if you do it this way. This is all there is to it. You're just going to continue until you've gone all the way around it. or you're going to skip this process altogether and not bother with it and just use double-sided, or you could actually do hand turn. You could turn it under by hand if you'd like to do that, if you like to do hand work. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you're used to and you like. That would be too time consuming for me. I just have too many things I need to do. I did do that a long time ago, but nope. That's one of the reasons I kind of like the wool that came out. You don't have to turn that under. It's thicker than fabric when you go to hand stitch it, and now of course you can sew it on your sewing machine. You don't have to do it by hand. I think anything by hand is almost a dying art. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to go, and then I'm going to finish this and I will be back and show it to you. There we have block 2, or month 2, however you want to say it, the banana leaves of the 2019 Murder Mystery quilt. I'm going to get a little closer to show you. These are applique leaves, and all I did was sew it around just like that. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, click on the little bell so you can get the notification for next month, and I'll see you guys next month with this. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.